Hello everyone. Today we will be doing an analysis of the credibility of the claim of a species' existence. The subject of this credibility analysis being the jackalope. This analysis has a clearance level of 1 with a content warning of potentially disturbing images. The jackalope is a creature that has been referenced since the 13th century. It has been sighted all over the world from parts of Asia, Europe, and all the way to Central America. The idea of a one- or two-horned rabbit has captivated people's minds over the centuries. So, with this being a phenomenon that has spanned centuries and occurred across the globe, it would be hard to dismiss it as a hoax. So why, you might be asking, am I saying it isn't real? Well, I'm here to tell you that the jackalope is in fact real. But it's not what you think. The reports that are mentioned are described as seeing a rabbit having a single horn akin to a unicorn. There are also reports of a rabbit with antlers. The first thing that stands out is that there seems to be some inconsistencies. First of all, there's a big difference between a single straight horn and a pair of branching antlers. Even if someone were to say they were different genders, subvariants, or even subspecies, these aren't the sort of distinctions that come about in those sorts of scenarios. Secondly, most horns and antlers are used for defense. A small rabbit would have no real use for that. Any predators that it would have to worry about would be large and aren't going to be deterred by this small inconvenience. So why is something that seems to make no sense so widely reported? Is there some other explanation? Is it just another myth that grew out of proportion to be unjustly recognized as a cryptid? There is an answer to all these questions. It is so widely reported because it is real. There's a good explanation for what this is and why it exists. It isn't just a made-up fairy tale. And it is no longer a cryptid. This is a real animal that is suffering from a disease. I will warn you that the image you are about to see may be disturbing. It is an animal with black growths all over its body, so if that's too much for you, you should leave now. For those who wish to proceed, this is a rabbit infected with Shope Papilloma virus. It infects certain leporids, causing keratinous carcinomas resembling horns, typically on or near the animal's heads. It creates a growth that resembles horns, only on rabbits, specifically at the head. That sounds to me like what is being described. This could easily explain the phenomena without just outright discrediting everyone as a liar. I think there are a few things we should take away from this. One is that while yes, there is no rabbit out there with antlers or horns, these creatures do exist in some capacity. People who disregarded this as just a myth were off the mark. This is a real creature and has a strong basis in reality. Even if it wasn't the exact creature described, it is undoubtedly real. To dismiss this as a myth or legend is ignoring facts and jumping to conclusions. This is the most reliable you can ask a witness to be. Maybe they didn't see antlers, but it was the closest thing in their mind they could connect it to. They were still being truthful and genuinely saw something real. Cryptids shouldn't be dismissed just because someone couldn't tell minute differences that no one should be expected to understand. Many myths and legends have a basis in reality, even if it isn't always clear what that is, some more than others. In this case, a very real creature was dismissed as a crazy myth. To clarify, if you don't believe in a rabbit with antlers, that's completely fine. One doesn't exist, but when the reports weren't fake, that is important to note. Many of you most likely didn't know about these reports. Neither did I. However, I believe this applies to other cryptids as well. That is the point I'm trying to make. If you actually look into it and don't ignore hundreds, if not thousands of credible witnesses, then you might just find something interesting. It might not be exactly what you thought you'd find, but most of the time, there is something to it. Another thing we should take away from this starts with the nature of this creature. This virus is horrible and takes over this poor creature's body. It can even interfere with the host's ability to eat, causing starvation. Let's stop making fairy tales about a suffering creature. It deserves more dignity than that. It isn't something we should glorify. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe so we can keep making more. If you have any thoughts on this, share them in the comments. I hope we can all learn something about respecting a suffering creature and about being too stubborn to see reality. Either way, thank you for watching. Goodbye.